This video shows you how to manage users in Qlik Cloud Analytics Premium. The individual who creates the tenant is the service account owner. If you are the service account owner, you are also the first tenant administrator and the only user with access to the tenant. You can add more users in two ways: by configuring an identity provider or by sending email invitations. If you have an IDP, you can create an IDP configuration in the Identity Provider section. If you do not have an IDP, you can add users by sending invite emails. Click Invite, and then in the invitation window, you can list multiple email addresses separated by a comma or a space. To send an email invitation, you must be a tenant administrator. You can see the invitation by selecting Pending Invites in the drop-down list to the left. Hover over the invite to see the expiry date. Invites that have expired are shown in red in the table. Opening the menu, you can resend an invitation, delete the invitation, edit roles, or change entitlements. When you invite, a user will receive an email that contains a link, which is only valid for a limited period. Once the user is registered, they can log in to Qlik Cloud. When the user has registered, the status changes to active. Each user has a status, depending on whether they are a fully registered user, a user that has been invited but not yet registered, or a user who has been deleted. For each user, you can open a menu where you can assign and remove security roles, change user entitlement, activate or disable users, revoke mobile access, and delete users. Tenant administrators manage user rights by assigning roles. Security roles control what users and administrators can do in the tenant or access in the management console. These roles do not control what you can do in spaces. Instead, your allowed actions on content in shared and managed spaces are determined by your space role in that specific space. You can also change user entitlements by manually changing the user type. However, if you give a basic user any additional permissions, they will be automatically promoted to a full user. Tenant admins can investigate what access rights that caused a specific user to be assigned full user type. The tenant admin can delete active users or pending users from the user section of the management console. Deleting an active user frees up a user entitlement that can be assigned to another user. You can also delete an invitation. To do that, open the menu and select Delete Invitation. Deleting a pending user removes the user record from the system, and they won't be able to register through the email invitation. And that concludes this video. Thanks for watching.